You wake up in the morning, reach for a glass of water, and your mouth feels like sandpaper. Your lips are cracked, your tongue feels heavy, and no matter how much water you drink, that dryness just won't go away. Most people ignore this, thinking it's just normal. But what if I told you this could be your body quietly signaling something deeper, something you shouldn't ignore? Because a dry mouth and lips in the morning is not always just about dehydration. In many cases, it's your body trying to warn you about what's happening internally while you sleep. And if you understand these signals early, you can prevent bigger health problems before they even start. Let's break this down together. First, the most obvious reason people think of is dehydration. And yes, that's definitely part of the story. But here's what most people don't realize. If you're consistently waking up with dryness, even after drinking enough water during the day, it means your body is losing fluids overnight faster than it should. This could be due to the environment you're sleeping in. If your room is too dry, especially with air conditioning or heaters running, your body loses moisture through breathing and skin. But that's just the surface-level explanation. The deeper issue is how your body is managing fluid balance internally. Your body regulates hydration through a delicate system involving hormones, electrolytes, and kidney function. When something is slightly off in this system, your body may struggle to retain water properly. That's when you wake up feeling extremely dry, even if you've been drinking enough fluids. And here's where it gets more interesting. A very common but overlooked cause is mouth breathing during sleep. If you sleep with your mouth open, even slightly, air continuously passes over your tongue and lips, drying them out for hours. You may not even realize you're doing it. Many people assume they breathe through their nose at night, but their body switches to mouth breathing without them knowing. Now the question is, why does that happen? Often, it's due to nasal congestion. This could be from allergies, sinus issues, or even a slightly deviated septum. When your nose is partially blocked, your body naturally switches to mouth breathing to get enough oxygen. Over time, this becomes a habit during sleep. But it doesn't stop there. Mouth breathing can actually reduce the quality of your sleep. It affects oxygen intake, which can lead to shallow breathing patterns and less restorative sleep. So if you're waking up with dry mouth and also feeling tired, groggy, or unfocused, these things are often connected. And here's something even more important. Dry mouth can also be an early sign of blood sugar imbalance. When your blood sugar levels are high, your body tries to remove excess glucose through urine. This process pulls water out of your system, leading to dehydration. That's why people with undiagnosed or poorly managed blood sugar issues often experience intense thirst and dry mouth, especially in the morning. If you're noticing other signs like frequent urination at night, constant thirst during the day, or unusual fatigue, your body might be signaling that your blood sugar isn't as stable as it should be. Another major factor that people completely overlook is the role of saliva. Saliva is not just there to keep your mouth wet. It plays a critical role in digestion, oral health, and even immune defense. When your body produces less saliva at night, your mouth becomes dry, and bacteria can grow more easily. That's why dry mouth is often linked to bad breath and dental issues. So what causes low saliva production? One of the biggest reasons is stress. When your body is under chronic stress, it shifts into a state where it prioritizes survival over maintenance. This affects multiple systems, including your digestive system and salivary glands. As a result, saliva production decreases, especially during sleep. Think about it. If you've been feeling mentally overwhelmed, anxious, or constantly on edge, your body may not fully relax at night. And when your body doesn't fully relax, it doesn't function optimally. That dryness you feel in the morning could actually be a reflection of what your nervous system is going through. And then there's medication. Many common medications, including antihistamines, antidepressants, and even some blood pressure drugs, have a side effect of reducing saliva production. If you've recently started a new medication and noticed dry mouth, there could be a connection there. But here's something that might surprise you. Your diet also plays a huge role. If your diet is high in salty, processed foods, your body retains sodium, which pulls water out of your cells. This can leave you feeling dehydrated, even if you're drinking water. Similarly, excessive caffeine and sugar intake can disrupt fluid balance and make dryness worse. Now let's go a little deeper into something many people don't expect. Dry mouth can also be linked to your breathing patterns and even sleep disorders. Conditions like sleep apnea, where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, can cause severe dryness. People with sleep apnea often breathe through their mouth, snore, and wake up feeling exhausted. If your dry mouth is combined with loud snoring, headaches in the morning, or excessive daytime sleepiness, it might be worth paying attention to your sleep quality. Because this isn't just about comfort, it's about your overall health. Your body does most of its repair and recovery while you sleep. If something is disrupting that process, your body will try to signal it in subtle ways. Dry mouth is one of those signals. Now here's the good news. In many cases, you can improve or even completely eliminate this issue by making a few simple adjustments. Start by paying attention to your hydration, but don't just focus on quantity. Focus on quality as well. Adding a pinch of natural salt or consuming electrolyte-rich foods can help your body actually absorb and retain the water you drink. Next, look at your sleep environment. If the air in your room is dry, using a humidifier can make a noticeable difference. It helps maintain moisture in the air, reducing overnight dryness. Then, focus on your breathing. Try to keep your nasal passages clear before bed. Simple habits like steam inhalation or sleeping in a slightly elevated position can help improve nasal airflow. And don't underestimate the power of relaxation. Creating a calm nighttime routine can help your body shift into a more relaxed state, improving overall function, including saliva production. Even something as simple as reducing screen time before bed or practicing deep breathing can make a difference. If you suspect your dry mouth is related to blood sugar, stress, or medication, it's important to address the root cause rather than just the symptom. Because your body is not random, it's constantly communicating with you. And that dry mouth and cracked lips you experience in the morning, that's your body speaking. It's your job to listen. The key is not to ignore these small signals, because small signals, when ignored over time, can turn into bigger problems. So the next time you wake up with that dryness, don't just reach for water and move on. Pause for a moment and ask yourself what your body might be trying to tell you. Because once you start listening, you'll begin to understand your body in a completely different way. And here's something most people never connect to dry mouth and lips: your hormones. Because when your body's hormones are even slightly out of balance, one of the first subtle changes can be a drop in your natural moisture levels, especially overnight when your body is supposed to repair and regulate itself. You might not notice it during the day because you're constantly drinking, eating, and moving, but at night, when everything slows down, the imbalance becomes more obvious. Your body relies on a complex network of hormones to control hydration, saliva production, and even how your skin retains moisture. When this system is working properly, your mouth stays comfortably moist, your lips remain soft, and your body maintains fluid balance without you even thinking about it. But when something shifts, even slightly, the effects can show up in ways that seem small at first, like waking up with a dry mouth or cracked lips. Let's start with one of the most important hormones involved in fluid balance: the antidiuretic hormone, often called ADH. This hormone controls how much water your kidneys retain. At night, your body naturally increases ADH levels so you don't lose too much water while you sleep. That's why most healthy people can go several hours without needing to wake up to urinate. But when ADH levels are disrupted, your body may lose more water than it should during the night. This can leave you waking up feeling dehydrated, even if you drank enough water before bed. It's not just about how much you drink, it's about how well your body holds on to that water. Now here's where it gets interesting. Hormonal imbalances involving stress hormones like cortisol can directly affect ADH. When cortisol levels are too high, especially in the evening, it can interfere with your body's ability to regulate fluids properly. Cortisol is meant to follow a natural rhythm, higher in the morning to wake you up, and lower at night to help you relax and sleep. But in today's world, many people have elevated cortisol at night due to stress, late-night screen exposure, irregular sleep schedules, or even overthinking. When cortisol stays high, your body remains in a slightly alert state, and this disrupts multiple systems, including hydration control. That's when you might notice something strange. You go to bed feeling fine, but you wake up feeling extremely dry, as if your body has been drained overnight. And cortisol isn't the only hormone involved. Another major player is aldosterone, a hormone that helps regulate sodium and potassium levels in your body. These electrolytes are essential for maintaining proper hydration. If aldosterone levels are off, your body may struggle to balance fluids correctly, leading to dehydration symptoms like dry mouth and lips. When your electrolyte balance is disrupted, water doesn't stay where it's supposed to. Instead of being properly absorbed into your cells, it may pass through your system too quickly, leaving you feeling dry and thirsty. Now think about your daily habits for a moment. If you're consuming a lot of processed foods, not getting enough minerals, or dealing with chronic stress, all of these factors can influence aldosterone and your electrolyte balance. And over time, this can quietly affect how hydrated you feel, especially in the morning. Then there's another layer to this that many people don't consider. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone, which are often associated with reproductive health, also play a significant role in maintaining moisture in the body. These hormones influence the function of mucous membranes, including those in your mouth. When estrogen levels are balanced, it helps maintain tissue hydration and elasticity. But when estrogen drops or fluctuates, it can lead to dryness in various parts of the body, including your lips and mouth. This is why many people experience increased dryness during certain phases of their hormonal cycle or during times of hormonal change. Even subtle fluctuations can have noticeable effects. And it's not just limited to one group of people. Hormonal imbalances can affect anyone, regardless of age or gender. Poor sleep, chronic stress, blood sugar issues, and even certain dietary patterns can disrupt hormonal balance. Now let's connect this to something very common that many people experience but rarely link to dry mouth: late night eating. When you eat heavy meals, especially those high in sugar or refined carbs, close to bedtime, it can disrupt your insulin levels. Insulin is another hormone that plays a role in how your body uses and stores energy. When insulin levels spike at night, it can interfere with other hormonal processes, including those that regulate hydration. Your body is supposed to shift into a repair mode at night, but when it's busy processing a heavy meal, it can't fully focus on its natural recovery processes. This can lead to imbalances that show up as dryness, restlessness, or poor sleep quality. And there's more. Your thyroid hormones also influence your body's metabolism and fluid regulation. When thyroid function is slightly off, it can affect how your body produces saliva and maintains moisture. Some people with low thyroid function notice symptoms like dry skin, dry mouth, and a general feeling of dehydration. Even if the imbalance is mild, your body can still show signs. Now here's something that ties all of this together. Your body operates on rhythms. Hormones rise and fall in a precise pattern throughout the day and night. When these rhythms are aligned, everything works smoothly. But when your lifestyle disrupts these rhythms, your hormones can become misaligned. Irregular sleep schedules, exposure to artificial light at night, high stress levels, and inconsistent eating patterns can all throw off your hormonal balance. And when that happens, your body may not produce enough of the substances it needs to maintain moisture overnight. That's why you might notice that your dry mouth is worse on certain days, especially after a stressful day, a late night, or poor sleep. Your body is responding to what you put it through. Now let's talk about something very practical. How do you know if your dry mouth is related to hormonal imbalance? Your body usually gives you multiple clues. You might notice changes in your energy levels, like feeling tired even after a full night's sleep. You might experience mood swings, difficulty concentrating, or cravings for certain foods. Your sleep itself might feel lighter or more interrupted. All of these can be signs that your hormones are not in their optimal rhythm, and the dry mouth is just one piece of the puzzle. The key here is not to treat the symptom in isolation. Drinking more water might help temporarily, but if the root cause is hormonal, the dryness will keep coming back until the imbalance is addressed. So what can you do? Start by focusing on your sleep. Going to bed at a consistent time and creating a dark, calm environment can help regulate your cortisol levels and support your natural hormonal rhythm. Even small changes like reducing screen exposure before bed can have a big impact. Next, look at your stress levels. Chronic stress is one of the biggest disruptors of hormonal balance. Finding ways to manage stress, whether it's through movement, breathing exercises, or simply taking time to relax, can help your body return to a more balanced state. Nutrition also plays a crucial role. Your body needs the right nutrients to produce and regulate hormones effectively. This includes healthy fats, proteins, and essential minerals. When your diet supports your body, your hormones are more likely to stay balanced. And don't forget hydration, but in a smarter way. Instead of just drinking large amounts of plain water, consider how you can support your body's ability to retain and use that water. This might include consuming foods rich in electrolytes or maintaining a balanced intake of fluids throughout the day, rather than all at once. Now here's the important part. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It doesn't create symptoms randomly. Every signal, no matter how small, has a purpose. When you wake up with a dry mouth and lips, it's not just an inconvenience, it's information. It's your body's way of telling you that something in your internal balance might need attention. And when you start to understand these signals, you gain the ability to respond in a way that supports your overall health, not just one symptom. Because true health is not about masking signs, It's about understanding what your body is trying to communicate and working with it, not against it. So if you've been waking up with dryness, don't ignore it. Look a little deeper. Pay attention to your sleep, your stress, your habits, and how your body feels overall. Because sometimes, the smallest symptoms carry the most important messages. And once you start listening closely, your body will guide you toward what it truly needs. And there's another piece of this puzzle that almost everyone overlooks. Something so simple that it's easy to ignore, yet it has a powerful effect on how your mouth feels when you wake up. Your oral hygiene routine. Because what you do, or don't do, before going to bed has a direct impact on how your mouth behaves overnight. Most people think brushing their teeth is just about avoiding cavities or keeping their breath fresh. But the truth is, your oral hygiene routine plays a huge role in maintaining moisture balance inside your mouth. Let's slow this down and really understand what's happening. Throughout the day, your mouth is constantly active. Saliva is flowing, washing away food particles, neutralizing acids, and keeping bacteria under control. It's a self-cleaning system that works incredibly well when everything is balanced. But at night, things change. Saliva production naturally decreases when you sleep. This is completely normal. Your body slows down many processes during rest, including saliva flow. Now, if your mouth is already clean and balanced before sleep, this reduction in saliva isn't a problem. But if your mouth isn't properly cleaned, this is where issues begin. Because whatever is left behind in your mouth, food particles, sugars, bacteria, all of it sits there for hours while your saliva is low. This creates the perfect environment for bacteria to grow and multiply. And here's where it connects directly to dryness. When harmful bacteria build up in your mouth, they disrupt the natural balance of your oral environment. These bacteria produce toxins and acids that can irritate the soft tissues inside your mouth, including your gums, tongue, and inner cheeks. This irritation can reduce your mouth's ability to retain moisture. So even if your body is trying to maintain hydration, the environment inside your mouth is working against it. That's why you might wake up with not just dryness, but also a sticky feeling, bad breath, or even a slightly coated tongue. These are all signs that your oral environment was not balanced overnight. Now think about this. If you skip brushing before bed or rush through it without properly cleaning your teeth and gums, you're essentially leaving behind fuel for bacteria to thrive. And since your saliva is reduced during sleep, your mouth has very little defense against this buildup. But brushing alone isn't the full story. Many people brush their teeth but completely ignore their tongue. Your tongue holds a significant amount of bacteria, especially in the small grooves on its surface. If this isn't cleaned regularly, it becomes a major source of bacterial growth. Overnight, these bacteria can contribute to dryness by disrupting the natural moisture balance in your mouth. That's why tongue cleaning is not just about fresh breath. It's about maintaining a healthy oral environment. And then there's flossing. Food particles trapped between your teeth may seem small, but they create pockets where bacteria can grow. These areas are not easily reached by a toothbrush, so if you don't floss, you're leaving behind hidden zones of bacterial activity. Over time, this can lead to gum irritation and inflammation. When your gums are inflamed, they don't function properly, and this can affect how your mouth maintains moisture. Now here's something that might surprise you. The type of toothpaste and mouthwash you use can also influence dryness. Some products contain alcohol or harsh chemicals that can strip away natural moisture. While they may give you a temporary feeling of freshness, they can actually make dryness worse in the long run by disrupting your mouth's natural balance. Your mouth is not meant to be sterile. It needs a healthy balance of bacteria to function properly. When you use products that are too harsh, you may be removing beneficial bacteria along with the harmful ones, creating an imbalance that contributes to dryness. And then there's the habit of not rinsing properly. If toothpaste residue or mouthwash is left in your mouth, it can interact with your oral tissues overnight. Depending on the ingredients, this can lead to irritation or dryness by morning. Now let's connect this to something even deeper. Your oral health is closely linked to your overall health. When your mouth is not in a healthy state, it can reflect internal imbalances. Poor oral hygiene can lead to chronic low-grade inflammation, which affects your body's ability to regulate different systems, including hydration. So that dryness you feel might not just be a surface-level issue. It could be connected to how your body is responding to inflammation and bacterial imbalance. And here's another detail most people don't consider. If you eat or drink something sugary late at night and don't clean your mouth afterward, you're creating the perfect setup for overnight dryness. Sugar feeds bacteria, and when bacteria metabolize sugar, they produce acids that disrupt your oral environment. This doesn't just affect your teeth, it affects your entire mouth, including its ability to stay moist. Now imagine this happening night after night. Even if it seems like a small habit, over time it builds up. Your mouth becomes more prone to dryness, irritation, and imbalance. And it's not always obvious at first. You might just notice that your lips feel drier than usual, or your mouth feels uncomfortable in the morning. But these small signs are your body's way of telling you that something needs attention. Now let's talk about consistency. Oral hygiene is not about doing things perfectly once in a while. It's about maintaining a consistent routine that supports your mouth every single day. Brushing thoroughly, cleaning your tongue, flossing, and choosing gentle, supportive products all contribute to a healthier oral environment. And when your oral environment is healthy, your mouth is better able to retain moisture, even during the natural reduction of saliva at night. But here's where many people struggle. They focus on quick fixes instead of long-term habits. They might use a strong mouthwash to mask bad breath or dryness, but they don't address the underlying routine that's causing the problem. The goal is not just to feel fresh for a few minutes. The goal is to create conditions where your mouth can maintain its natural balance on its own. Now think about how your night routine looks. Do you brush properly before bed, or do you skip it when you're tired? Do you take the time to clean your tongue, or is it something you've never really considered? Do you floss regularly, or only when something feels stuck? These small habits add up, and the way your mouth feels in the morning is often a reflection of what you did the night before. Now let's connect this to something even more subtle. Your lips themselves are affected by your oral environment. When your mouth is dry, your lips lose moisture as well. They become more prone to cracking and irritation. So when you wake up with dry lips, it's not just about external factors like weather. It's often connected to what's happening inside your mouth. And if the inside is not balanced, the outside will show it. This is why applying lip balm alone may not fully solve the problem. It can help temporarily, but if the root cause is inside your mouth, the dryness will keep coming back. So instead of just treating the surface, it's important to support the entire system. Now here's the key idea. Your mouth is part of your body's overall ecosystem. It's not separate. What happens there affects everything else, and vice versa. When you take care of your oral hygiene properly, you're not just protecting your teeth, you're supporting your body's ability to maintain balance, including hydration. And that's why something as simple as your nighttime routine can have such a noticeable impact on how you feel when you wake up. So if you've been dealing with dry mouth and lips in the morning, take a closer look at your oral habits. Because sometimes, the solution is not complicated. It's about doing the simple things consistently and correctly, and giving your body the support it needs to function the way it was designed to.